Welcome to Mitchell Maths. In this video we're going to have a look at recurring decimals and how we can convert them into fractions, and also how we can convert fractions into recurring decimals. In the first question we're looking at how we can convert 0.29 recurring into 22/99 by an algebraic method. What we need to do first is we need to let R equal 0.29 recurring. And what we're going to do is we're going to need to get to a stage where we get rid of the 29 recurring off the end. First thing we're going to do is we're going to write we're going to times R by 100. So if we times both sides by 100, what we get is we get 100 R equals 29.29 recurring. And if we want to get rid of this 29 recurring, what we can do is we can take R off 100R. So if I take off R from both sides, I'll get 99R equals 29. And then I can rearrange to find what R is, because remember, I said at the start that R is equal to 0.29 recurring. So whatever R is equal to is the same as this fraction here. So to get R, I'm going to divide by 99, and that gets us R equals 29/99. So we've answered the question there. So that's the algebraic method. Once you do some of these, you'll notice that if you have 0 point and then two decimals recurring, that it'll always be that number over 99. Always do check though if you can simplify it or not, if it's sometimes you will be able to. Right, the next question is 0.84 recurring. This question's a little bit differently because, as you can see, the 8 is not part of the recurring decimal, which means we're going to have to do things a little bit differently. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let R equal 0.84, so that step's the same. I'm also going to get 10R here, and you'll see why that's important later. It's just to get the 4 recurring on the end. So I'll have 10R equals 8.4 recurring. And then I'm going to get 100R as well, so I'm going to times by, I'm going to times the top one by 100. I'll just times this one by 10. So that gets me 100R equals 84.4 recurring. Now if I want to get rid of this last number on the end, I can't take away R, because if I take away R, I'll be taking away 0.84 recurring. And that's why I got 10R. So I have the 4 recurring on the end, and if I take 10R from 100R, I'll eliminate that 4 recurring. So therefore, if I'm going to take 10R from this, basically, and it'll be take away 8 because 10R is 8.4 recurring. That will give me 90R equals, well, the 4 recurring will disappear. That'll just cancel out. And I've got 84 take away 8, which will give me 76. And I need, in order to get R, I need to divide by 90, which will get me R equals 76/90. However, I can simplify that down further, and it will often say in a question, give your answer as a simplified fraction. So if I was to simplify 76, well, that'll be 38/45. And that's as far as that goes. So that's how to work it out when you've got a number that's not recurring before the recurring part of the decimal. This is another one. So this one's a little bit more tricky because we've got a number and we've got 2 numbers that are recurring, not just one. So this time I'm going to start off exactly the same. I'm going to let R equal 0.9 with a 4 and 3 recurring. I'm going to find out what 10r is, because what that'll do is that'll get me that 0.43 recurring in the end. And then after that, I'm going to actually need to find 1000r. The reason I need to get what 1000r is because I need I need to times it by 1000 before I can get 43 recurring on the end. Otherwise, it'd be the other way around. It'd be 34 recurring. If it was 100r, it would equal, well, 100r would equal 94.34 recurring. And if I took 10r from 100r, well, this wouldn't be eliminated. So because I've got 43 recurring here and 43 recurring here, I can take 10r from 1000r, and that'll get rid of this. So what that gets me is I get 990r equals, well, 943 take away 9 is 934. Then I need to divide by 990 in order to find out what r is. And that means r equals 934 over 990. And as you can see, both numbers are even, which means they're going to divide by 2. So 990 divided by 2 is 495. And 930 divided by 2 is 467. And that's how to work out, convert a bit more of a complex recurring decimal into a fraction when you've got one number and two recurring parts. And it's all about looking at how you can eliminate the recurring part of the decimal, and then you can convert it into a fraction. Right, question 4. So now what we're looking at is how we can convert fractions into recurring decimals. Now, in the first question, we saw that if you have something over 99, it's just going to be, so let's say we had 43 over 99, that would just be 0.43 recurring. So if you look at the bottom of the fraction and you think, actually, I can convert that into 99, then you can use that knowledge to find the recurring decimal. Now 11 can quite easily be converted to 99 by just timesing by 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 over 11, and we're going to times both the top and the bottom by 9. And if we do that, we get 27 over 99. And that means that therefore our recurring decimal would be 0.27 recurring. Now in question 5, we're going to use division to express 2 over 15 as a recurring decimal. We can't convert 15 to 99, so that method's not going to work here. So we're going to use division, and we're going to use bus stop method. You have to be quite careful here, because people sometimes get quite used to always putting the smaller number outside and the bigger number under the thing. But just remember the way you're dividing it. You're doing 2, and you're dividing 2 by 15. So it's the 15 that needs to go on the outside and the 2 that needs to go on the inside. Otherwise, you're going to get 7.5, which is obviously not a recurring decimal. So 15 doesn't go into 2, so we get 0. And then we carry 2 forward. 15 goes into 20 once, so we get 1. And we have 5 left over. 15 goes into 50 3 times. And we've got 5 left over. And what you can see here is you're going to get this thing repeating over and over again. So the 3 is recurring. Therefore, we get 0.13 recurring. So that's how you convert something like 2 over 15 into a recurring decimal by doing division. And you have a few things like things over 6, for example, can be converted that way also. Right, thank you for watching. I hope you found it helpful. If you liked the video and like to see more, please click the subscribe button. And for practice questions, please visit www.mitchellmathandscience.com. The link is in the description.